So when you're using a home energy assessment report or you want to create one for an existing client or for a new client that's buying a home, you're going to simply come here in the SOAR portal and click Create Report. And what you're going to do here is you're going to come in and you're going to fill out the address and make sure to select that. You're going to enter in the homeowner's name. And then what you're going to come do down here is make sure you are entering in the email and the phone number. If you know if they charge any VVL call at home, you can select that here. And if you know the number of the people in the household, typically what I do is if I don't know the number of the people in the household, we can just start with 4. Then what you can come in here and do is enter in the referral partner's name, and you can enter in what type of client this was. So let's say it's a past mortgage client. Then what you're going to come down here is click Generate My Report. What it's then going to come down here and do is generate a version of the report that you can actually go in and edit that report. This is a very key feature. So it's going to take you to the edit page right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull in the utility cost. It's going to list the monthly energy consumption. It's going to list the system size, what we want to charge them for the PPA rate, and this. So let's just say I want to say, you know what, I only want to charge them 13.5 cents. And you know what, I've already gotten the electricity bills and say I know that this is 3,400. I can literally just click update report and it's going to update my system size right here. And let's say for the utility information here, I know for whatever reason that they're on a care plan, so it's going to be lower, or I know I got an updated bill and they just raised the utility rate because the utility is pulling in based on the numbers that we have formatted for that neighborhood. Well, let's just say I know that the average is 18.6 or 18. And then I can come in here too. I can come down here and say, oh, there's 5. And if I click update the report, it's going to update and change the system size here for us. So I can go ahead and do that. Now, what this is also going to do is it's going to show the Google image versus the high res image that we've taken. You can see the big time difference between the two of these. You can definitely see here the difference in the way that these photos are based on the age of it. And then what it's going to do down here is going to pull all the details about the properties, the square footage, all of the stories. And what it's going to come down here, it's going to list the current annual utility usage. This is based on neighborhood data. Now we can also use our Super Connect link that we can send to a homeowner by simply copying this link and send it to them. And then that will go ahead and pull in all of their information that we could later use. But kind of coming down here, see the annual cost, the current monthly cost, the utility rate, the average rate. So we can see that this one is much higher than the average rate, who the utility provider is. And then we can see the listed home energy items that are recommended for this home based on the Department of Energy, based on that climate zone, see what the monthly savings are going to be and see what that retail price is. So if we're doing a PPA, we know how much to build in to the PPA commission to be able to do that. We can see the savings over 25 years with the PPA, 25-year savings with the financing. We can see what the cost is without the EE upgrades. The cost is with the EE upgrades after the federal incentive of 30% federal tax credit. Then we can down here see the energy efficiency. If we include energy efficiency plus the solar PPA, what that estimated payment is, and that is based on the PPA rate we put in here for an example. And then coming down here, we can go ahead and see if energy efficiency plus solar based on the loan term we've built into the back end, 25-year loans, I believe it's with dividend at 699 with 14 dealer points. We can see if somebody was not doing energy efficiency, what that bill would basically be, comparing it to that PPA. So we can see by energy efficiency, there is some good savings here. We can also see what that bill is. We can see with energy efficiency, we're actually able to reduce the system size down, by roughly about 10%, even though we're getting about 22% here. So we actually give them some bandwidth there. We can see all of this broken down. And then what we can do in here is we can quickly view the report. And that report, when we send this report out as a web-based report, we can come in here and it verifies this. So when the homeowner gets this report, they're like, you know what? This is based on the neighborhood data. I know my bill is more like $695. And you know what? I only have 5 people in the home and I do charge an EV vehicle, and they click unlock the report. It's going to go ahead and update everything for them. So on this report, we can see down here, this is what their estimated energy bill is, the annual consumption, as well as they're in a high cost utility area based on high cost for that state. We can see this is the current bill. This is what we can get them down to by doing energy efficient upgrades and the PPA. And then it breaks down their plan. These are the energy efficient options that are recommended that we install: air seal, 5-zone smart thermostat with the smart vents and the HVAC smart chip. At any point they want to get started, it pops it up. and this was dealt with intercom, and whoever the sales rep is can be on the other line answering any of those questions in real time. And then coming down here, what we can see, maximize savings. Here's the savings, doing a PPA over 25 years versus the utility company, and that factors in the estimated rate hikes of that utility based on the previous time. We can see the number of hours of sunlight. We can see that there's no shade obstructions, which can also be verified by looking at their property as far as shade obstructions go. And then what we can come down here is we can see, okay, here's their bill. If they were just to buy solar and no energy efficient upgrades, here's their payment. And with what we call the EcoSave solution, which is a PPA with the energy efficient upgrades, pricing in those energy efficient upgrades by basically increasing the commission back so we can cover those upgrades of $5,000 because we're saving 10% on the system. Which, if we're able to save roughly in this case about 2 kilowatts, we know, okay, that's 2,000 watts at $3, that's $6,000. It's only $4,000 to get these done. That makes a lot more sense, especially if we can reduce the battery size down, and we can see all the different information on here on that breakdown. And so when the homeowner then goes ahead and actually opens this report, we go ahead and we're actually able to see that they opened up that report directly on here. So I can go ahead and all of us, all of the sales reps, we can see that. And what do you know? I'm the one that just opened that report. I first saw my report 4 months ago. This so many times it's been viewed, so I can see all the details of everybody that views the report in real time. When they looked at that report, all those details, and then any messaging would obviously pop up here, and I can see that all on the back end.